Hey, it's Men's Health Month. Men, are you struggling to get healthy? Got any questions on what lifestyle works best for you? Or you simply need guidance on how to get started? Well, guess what? You're in the right place. Join me and my health and fitness professionals as we dive into subjects such as physical fitness, health and nutrition, and even medical checkups. Men, let's get you right and celebrate men's health. What's up, everybody, and happy Tuesday. And thank you for joining us once again. This is Men's Health Month presented to you by Fitness D.E.F.Y'd. And every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., we're going live with some great conversations about all things men's health, giving you all the details, health tricks, tips, success stories, testimonies, all of that. If you missed last Tuesday, I want to tell you, go back and watch that. We talked about making the journey your own. Tonight, we have two great fellas as well, Mark Lacey and also Trent Griffin, who is going to give us some things about their life and their success. We're going to be talking about consistency, trusting the process, and having that determination to get right. Get ready, because we're about to go ahead and go and start this live.
Greetings. This is Mark Lacey, speaker, writer, producer. I'm also a fitness enthusiast. And today I want to leave you with two words. That's process and consistency. Again, process and consistency. When you think about your health and fitness, don't think of it as a thing. Think of it as a journey. That is your process. Don't look at it as losing 5 pounds to fit in a certain outfit for a certain event. No, you want to factor health and fitness in your daily life for the rest of your life. And you want to be consistent with it to get maximum results. You know, I once embarked on a 90-day sweat challenge. That's right. I was going to either do weights, calisthenics, or cardio 90 days straight to produce sweat. Well, it got good to me, and that turned into 180 days. And eventually that 180 days turned into 365 days. So after a whole year of doing a sweat challenge, working out every day, I decided to push it for 2 years. So by the grace of God, I was able to accomplish a 730-day sweat challenge. That's right. I worked out for 2 years straight, not missing a day. And during that time, I established my process. And of course, I was consistent with it as well. Why did I want to apply these two things? Well, first of all, when it comes to your fitness process or your regimen, it's going to take some time before you can figure out the best workout for what it is you are trying to accomplish. How did I do that? I listened to several experts. I watched several fitness videos, and I took everything with a grain of salt. And through this process, I was able to finally put together a workout regimen from which I could maximize from a physical and from a health standpoint. And I had to look at it as a marathon and not a sprint. So that was my process. And the only way that I was going to learn things, that came straight from being consistent, right? So I had to be consistent, and I had to constantly research as I was going through my workout regimen to find out specifically what was best for me and what I was trying to accomplish. But before you actually set out on a journey like this, and I also want to state that, you can start out with a 30-day challenge or a 60-day challenge, what's best for you. But before you begin that, find out exactly what it is you want to accomplish, write it down. Secondly, make sure you consult with a physician or a family doctor to make sure that your health is at a stage in which you can undertake such a regimen, right? And then while you're going through your process, continue evolving, change up your routine, trick your body, shock your body, but be consistent. Again, process and consistency, I think, are two of the greatest keys to health and fitness.
All right, everybody, you just heard the testimony and some great feedback from a personal process from Mark Lacey. And we're actually going to bring him on now so we can dive and hear from him a little bit more about his process. So we're now going to bring Mark. Mark, how you doing, man? I don't think, there we go.
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing better now. I've listened to your story. I mean, off the top, I want to go ahead and just dive into this consistency that you built. That's amazing, and it's inspiring to just see other people's journey and their process, because like you said, everybody's process is different. And this, like you said, this is not just a thing. This is a legit journey in the process. But what in the world? How did you manage to work out for 2 years straight, not missing one day? Because let me tell you something, I will factor in my days I'm not going to work out because I'm like, I'm tired, I'm not doing it. But you decided, first of all, what made you, before we even get into you like actually doing it, because people look at the outcome, you doing the two, they're like, wow, 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 and it's amazing. And some people think they can just get up and do that. But let's talk about what initiated that first thing for you to even come up with your mind to agree that you're going to start something.
Right. Great question. But before I dive into that, I just want to say that it was by the grace of God that I had the opportunity, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Okay. So to answer your question, you get to a point to where, okay, you played high school basketball, you played college basketball and intramurals. And back in the day, you had the body of a greyhound. And we all know that time and gravity are both undefeated, right? They're going to always win. And as you get a little older, the manner in which your body responds to physical exercise is a little different. And of course, when you're a very young man, you don't even process that because it just seems so way off. But then when you start experiencing some things, it really starts to play heavily in your mind. So I was thinking, okay, I typically worked out like maybe 5 to 6 days a week, factored in cardio and weights. And I'm a foodie. I like to eat what I like to eat. I live an active lifestyle, consider myself a high energy person. However, man, one day I took a look in the mirror. I said, no way, no way. And then I was really disappointed because I felt that I worked too hard to not get the desired results, and so I know it's 99% of the diet. So I had to make some dietary adjustments, but I am a firm believer of the fact that if you put yourself in a situation in which you give your body no choice but to respond, the universe is going to get behind you and it's going to help you reach your goals. So I decided to take my body hostage and made the universe pay the ransom.
Man, but you're right about that. Like it's a determination
Right.
that you say with yourself. So you made that mental decision with yourself first to say, hey, I'm not happy with where I'm at or the goals I have and the body that I want, because it's your body, is your decision to make that change. And you saw what needed to be done, you put the work in, and there you go. And that's what I think most people get the consistency messed up, because it's the determination, because you can get out there and work every day, but just be doing it in the motion, but don't have the passion behind it, because you're not dedicated. That's why most people fall off,
Right. And I'm a firm believer of controlling everything that you can control. And look, you don't even have to be what they call a control freak. I just said, I don't know how my body is going to transform in the future. At what rate? Because, you can't measure it when you get on you can physically measure it, but it's a roller coaster ride, basically.
Right.
But I said I was going to control everything that I can control, and whatever I can control, I was going to dominate it.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of flaws, but being consistent is not one of them. I love consistency. There's power in consistency. And when you can be consistent with your physical workout regimen and your fitness, you're going to value the process a little more, right? You're not going to focus on losing 5 pounds to get into an outfit for a reunion. You're going to fall in love with the day-to-day process. Because the bottom line is the beautiful tree cannot grow without the ugly root, right? That ugly root is the process. If the root is not shown any love, then that tree is going to be neglected, right? So you have to have a process. And to me, people have always said, I'm sure your elders have told you, the destination is the journey. That journey is the process, and you can only refine it. You can only evolve through it, and you can only grow through it if you are consistent. And I think that the power of consistency is something that a lot of people take for granted. I mean, if you can withstand the ups, the downs, the highs and the lows, the times in which people are cheering you on, the times in which they're booing, but you still keep doing your thing, there is so much power in that. So that's why I always emphasize, treat it like a marathon and treat it like it's something that you have to live with on a daily basis. But you have to be consistent in order for that to be established.
I really love that you gave those different analogies as well, treating it like a marathon, because once again, there's nothing wrong with having those small set goals, because, for some people starting off, you have to start small and to increase, you got to build something if there's nothing there. But, having that 5 pounds just for you can fit in a t-shirt, a dress, or whatever the case may be, realistically, if that's where you stop, and you could be happy with that for the rest of their lives. I believe in people having their own definition of happiness, definition, but realistically, the way that you're putting it, you can miss out on so much more than just making that, because if you compare it to a marathon, in that 5 pounds, that's just a pit stop. That's just a little water break, versus continuing to see what would happen if you continue that same regimen you had, or that same procedures, or whatever the case you was doing to get to that. It's beautiful to see that outcome long term, because that's how you have to look at it. But like you said, you'll miss out on so much more that you need to learn, and it's more than just losing pounds.
Oh man, and honestly, I think you'll learn that losing pounds and getting on that scale, if you've not slammed it or thrown it through the window, you're going to realize that's only like 5% of it.
Yeah.
It's so much more than pounds, but you have to go through the process to understand that. You have to be consistent to understand that, and develop an appreciation. As a famous speaker, Les Brown, says, sometimes it's not necessarily about accomplishing a goal, but what you can become during the process. And not only are you improving your physical health situation and status, but you're also being inspired to do other things. Hey, I've got some more energy. I've got some more focus. I'm going to do some more investing. I'm going to read up on real estate. I'm going to do this. I've got some spring cleaning that I need to do. It not only impacts your physical workout life, but it also impacts other sectors of your life. In my opinion, momentum and focus, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a subject matter expert on human physiology and psychology or whatever, but I do know this. If you're working towards something and you get a momentum or you get a second win, you're going to look at that as inspiration and you're going to be hungrier for more. And then you realize that, okay, I've hit a plateau. I don't have any choice but to work my way through that plateau.
Mm-hmm.
And just a quick analogy, I was reading this article one time. This lady who ran the same course around her neighborhood for 10 years, she had a couple of children, but she said she could never get her pre-baby body back, right? And one of her friends told her, said, listen, why don't you try changing your route? Run up and down some hills, do it in reverse, run the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
And she did that, and that weight started coming off of her body just like that.
Wow.
And it's because, again, okay, now this is going to sound like an oxymoron. It is through her consistency that she finally learned that you have to change some things up. You have to be consistent with your process. However, anybody who's been working out for a while understands that you have to use tricknology when it comes to your body.
That's
because
right.
your body is way more intelligent than you give it credit for being. I mean, of course, one of the easiest things to do is to make gains within 2 weeks, right? Or lose weight in 2 weeks. Next thing you know, your body's gonna say, "Hey, that's awesome, but hey, what have you done for me lately?" And it's just gonna be right there in that space, and you have to find a way to number one, encourage yourself to stay the course because you're not getting those initial gains, or you're getting gains, but it's not at the same rate. And that's when you realize that, it's not all about the clothes. And as you mentioned, it's not all about what the scale says. It's about me being disciplined enough with this process to make the necessary changes. And again, you don't change the ultimate goal. You just make some alterations in your process. But you try to retain that same amount of discipline. But again, if you're not embracing the consistency, it's going to be hard to get that energy, that focus, and that passion that you're going to need to see it through.
Man, you hit on some great stuff in just that whole time. And you actually got into a question I was going to ask, but you answered it all in one about what ways did you apply that, learning from just the physical journey of consistency into other areas. But you kind of touched on some of those parts about it motivated you. You have all this energy and you have all this high level of focus that you're able to do certain things else, in your life, or focusing on this and applying that. So that's great. I want you before we wrap up for a minute, just to give some pointers to somebody who maybe is about to make that step to start being consistent, or somebody who's in the game and need those pointers to keep going for that marathon.
Man, humble thyself. You got to be like Rabbit on 8 Mile. Throw all your stuff out there to where you can no longer hide behind insecurities. Man. Accept what you see in the mirror. Mirror does not lie. Use that as motivation. But don't fool yourself and don't lie to yourself about, and don't try to spin what your body really looks like. So you don't try to spin it. Just look at that mirror. Mirror don't lie. You know how to say in the basketball court, ball don't lie. Accept it for now, but promise yourself that this is not going to be what it is in the future. But you have to look, literally and figuratively, you have to undress yourself and be real with what you see.
That's it. Yeah. Y'all heard it from Mark himself. He's not going to leave us completely. He's going to take a break and he'll be back later. We're going to take a small break and then we're going to hear from Trent Griffin. So y'all stay tuned, stay locked in. And if you have any questions, get those prepared because we're diving into some more great conversation.
Hello, this is Trent Griffin. I'm coming to you live from Big Springs Park in Huntsville, Alabama. Men's health. For me, the journey was personal. It was about becoming well again. And when I say that, I mean, we as men oftentimes don't really consider health our priority. Yes, we want to look good. But do we go to the doctor enough? Do we take the steps to do the things necessary to ensure that our health is the best that it can be? My journey started about almost 400 pounds. And I did not realize that my blood pressure was 280 over 160. And I was sitting in a doctor's office and they were shocked that I was even talking to them in a normal voice because I had no idea that my blood pressure was that high. And when they told me that I needed to go immediately to the emergency room, I couldn't believe it. I still had to go home and get my cell phone charger and I had to go back to the hospital and check in and figure out what was going on with me. Well, after my diagnosis of high blood pressure, hypertension, gout, diabetes, what else? Low kidney function, it became apparent to me that I needed to do something extreme for my health. So it really changed my perspective about keeping up with what is important to me in my life. So I'm going to say the number one thing you can do to change your life is change your mind. And I say that because without a mentality change, a lot of the things that you did to get you in the position you're in will be the things that you will continue to do. And it won't help you on your journey. I now, as of my last visit, I'm down well over 100 pounds. I'm walking every day. I'm eating better. My blood sugar is normal without medication. My kidney function is normal. My cholesterol is normal. I don't have blood pressure issues like I used to. And I'm working on getting that last little bit of perfection out of my health because it's important to me. And my goal is not specifically appearance, but perseverance. Because your health is going to be a lifelong commitment. And I didn't use the word struggle because if it's doing something for you, it should not be a struggle. It is a commitment. And sometimes commitments are hard, but you walk through them. You journey through them. And that is what I'm committing to for my health. So as we go through this month, I wanted to take a few minutes and let you know that you are not alone, and that there are things that you can do no matter what condition you are in to make your condition better. I will certainly be talking more this month about men's health and things we can do to improve in general. But I want to take this moment to welcome you to Men's Health Month and applaud you on your willingness to do something to help yourself. Thank you.
All right, everybody, we're going to bring up Trent Griffin. You just heard from him himself in that great video. I can't wait to dive into this. So, Trent, are you there? We're ready to bring you on, sir. How you doing?
I am here. Welcome everyone, and thank you for having me.
It is a pleasure, man. And a pleasure and an honor for you to be on here. Let me tell you something. I was trying to jot down a couple notes, but I almost about wrote a full page off of this video, man. You spoke some great things. First of all, your testimony, your journey, it's amazing to hear that from where you were to where you are now. So many great points. I mean, yes, I see some claps right there in the comments. If y'all in there, y'all listen, because not everybody's able to do it, you know. And I just want to, first of all, just say congrats. That's all I want to say. Congrats starting off. But
thank you.
Can you touch back on what you were experienced, what like the things that your trials that you were going through? I mean you said like gout, low blood pressure, high blood
high blood pressure.
High blood pressure, not low. I'm sorry, high. Because that number you said 280 over something. First of all, I got to learn my numbers, y'all. So that's a disclaimer. I got to learn my numbers. But whatever number you said, I knew that wasn't right.
Right.
I knew that wasn't supposed to be that high.
Not nearly that high. It was about double what normal was. Both high and the top number and the bottom number, they were both about double what they were supposed to be.
My God.
And they call hypertension the silent killer for a reason, because you don't know that it's happening until it happens to you. You just wind up with a stroke or a heart attack or something debilitating, and you don't know if you'll recover. And if you do recover, you don't know if you'll recover fully. And you don't even know what hit you. And if you are lucky enough to make it through, it's even harder to get to the position you want to be in, because now you're trying to work with health that is failing in trying to improve your health. You know what I'm saying? You're physically unable to do some of the things that you need to do to work on your health. So I was lucky.
Yeah,
I was lucky, and what started it all was a broken tooth.
and we thank God for that broken tooth. And it's crazy because I was just about to say, sometimes it's crazy that sometimes your body will tell you signs, hey, we need to get right, something not wrong, get to the doctor. But then, like you just said, in cases like that, your body won't tell you until it's time to just
right.
fall out, or whatever or death, you never know. So that's an even more, it's scary, but also a more encouraging thing for us to take care of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, take care of your body, pay attention, do what needs to be done. But I want to talk to you about your determination to change that, because let me tell you something. Most people, when you just find out all these things you're going through and all that, you just come to a point where you like, well, it's too late, it's too far. I don't really feel like putting in all the work, so I'm just going to accept where I am. And if I die, I die. Or if some people have that mentality, instead of changing, they just accept defeat. We don't realize it, but we're accepting defeat. But you, on the other hand, decided to make a change and make a difference with your mindset, because that's a big thing. Yeah. So talk about what really stirred, and I know it's the situation, you going to the doctor, but what made you continue to go? Because you could have left that doctor's office and said, it is what it is.
Well, I knew that I felt good, believe it or not, I felt good. And I love my life. I know that there are people that I love in my life, people that depend on me. And I know that I did not only want to be a burden to them, but I also wanted to be able to, in a position to help them to live a full life and to live it in a way that I can enjoy my life. So my initial assessment was, look, I need to live. And a lot of people feel that way, but they don't understand how important it is to change your mind to live. Um, there are people that they'll say that they want to do something, and you can tell them how to do it, but will they do it? Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. But you have to make up in your own mind that you need to do whatever it is that it's going to take to make a change in your life that's going to help you to live a better life or live your best life.
Yeah, that's right.
There's been a lot of sweat. I first also, let me take this time. Your previous guest and I are in a group called Art and Soul. We do poetry and spoken word and stuff like that.
Okay.
He is one of my mentors in my health journey because I've been to, after he did his challenge, I went to the seminar he had about weight loss, and there are things that I took with me about consistency and perseverance that really helped me on my journey. JQ Ellis from Fitness Defied. She is a ball of energy,
Yeah.
and she is
Yeah.
a motivator. And she is one of the people that really help encourage you to do the things that you have to do to get in the shape you want to be in. And she'll meet you where you are and take you to where you need to be. So I think it's important to have people in your life that you can model your journey after. You may not have the same journey at all. My journey is completely different from Mark Lacey's journey. We started at different places. My journey is completely different from the guests you had last week, which were very good guests, and also great job on what you're doing,
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
hosting this program. I want to let everybody who's watching know this is going to go on every Tuesday throughout this month.
Right.
Make sure that the people that you love in your life that need to get some inspiration, maybe some tips, maybe something that someone will say on one of these days will spark the need in them to do what's best for their health, will ignite that energy in them.
That's right.
So I think that's important.
Yeah. Oh, it's highly important. I mean, you spoke even like we're talking about making the journey your own. We dived into that last Tuesday, but I mean that's going to apply to everything we talk about all the time, making the journey your own because it's different. And you even stated that you weren't going for the appearance, which is nothing wrong. If you want to have a great body, that's awesome. I'm trying to get there. It's a process, but you stated you were going for more of, instead of the appearance, you said appearance, perseverance over the appearance. And I
Yes.
think that is important to know because for your journey and the things that you were doing, which first of all, I just love that you just said, first of all, I love my life. That like you just like, I felt great.
Right.
Some people feel defeated
Right.
after all this stuff. You just have a different glow on you. You just like, I felt great. It just charged me to just keep going and persevere. But clearly you had a different mindset. You had a different focus, and it was doing something for you to
Right.
persevere over the things that the humps and the things that were in your way.
Right.
That's, I mean,
Right.
yeah. Talk a little about that, your determination, your mindset for that.
Well, for me, my journey began at close to 400 pounds. And when you're that weight and you start going to the doctor and you find out, how many things are going bad with you, you start uh, your journey with a single step. You say, first, I need to work on this. And you keep working on that until you figure out, okay, I'm getting this under control, but I still need to work on this, that, and the other thing. But if you try to attack everything at once, sometimes you'll get overwhelmed and you'll stop. But if you take each thing and make each little thing your goal to overcome, it's sort of like repairing your credit. To take an analogy, if you got a whole bunch of credit cards and a whole lot of debt, and you're like, where do I begin? Well, first you need to get rid of one of these cards, and probably the highest interest one. And in this respect, the one that impacted your health the most. Which thing is the thing that is most important to your continued existence?
Yeah.
And when you prioritize, you'll have an opportunity to make a difference, a little bit at a time. And like he said, it's going to take for me, it's a lifetime commitment, because
That's right.
it took a lifetime for me to get to that point.
Yeah.
Everything didn't happen. I was close to 300 pounds in high school. So I know that, at my age, that's a long time to be, and I'm going to use the term morbidly obese, because that's what it was. Just, having a reality check. I may have looked nice. I had, I modeled for Full Figure Fierce. I'm one of their big handsome kings. I look good in clothes, but on the inside, I was not the healthy person that I needed to be. So I said, I may change everything by doing this, but what I will change the most is my ability.
That's good. And I love how you were transparent in saying that, you're still trying to work out that kink of perfectionism, being a perfectionist. And we all do that as normal, as human. But like you said, it's a lifetime commitment, and it's also a process, and it's not supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be this short term, all in a day type of thing. But you hit on prioritizing. And I think if we realize that, you got to bring your mind back, because if not, you're going to mentally burn out. Mental fatigue is a real thing. I think sometimes we don't highlight that in our process, that you'll burn out by, I got to do this, I got to do that, and I'm trying to get this, and this not happening the way I want to. You're looking at, I used to always look at my body every day in the mirror, not giving my body to, so all that's just going down the drain, but that's good that you hit on that. We got a couple minutes we want to wrap up. Things I want to ask you, just to encourage some people out there, what you give them some advice and stuff. I want to throw in, and I'm taking this quote with me. You said, if it's doing something for you, then it should be you should be committed to it. I'm taking that with me. That's going in the book. Griffin. If it's doing something for you, then you need to be committed to that. So on top of that, that's a freebie, y'all. I took that one down for y'all. Y'all can say me later, but give them something else, some takeaways that they can help with their journey.
Well, I think that you got to realize it's a day at a time thing. Nothing's going to change overnight. Make sure that you incorporate in your journey understanding what's going on with your body. That means getting regular visits at the doctor. We hate going to the doctor, but a doctor's going to be able to give you tests that will help you understand what is going on with your body, and that will point you in the direction of the things you need to change.
That's good. That's good. We're about to bring you right back, y'all. We're going to take a small break. We're bringing back Trent and Mark for a live question and answer. Get your questions ready. because we're about to have Q&A in just a few moments. Hey, it's Men's Health Month. Men, are you struggling to get healthy? Got any questions on what lifestyle works best for you? Or you simply need guidance on how to get started? Well, guess what? You're in the right place. Join me and my health and fitness professionals as we dive into subjects such as physical fitness, health and nutrition, and even medical checkups. Men, let's get you right and celebrate men's health. All right, everybody. Now is the time. We're bringing our fellas back. We're all together for a Q&A time. You've heard their personal stories. We had their personal little interviews we had with them, and now we're bringing them together to hear this great information. I'm excited. I feel like a guest. I feel like one of the people in the audience. I don't even feel like I'm hosting it right now because it's so good. But we learned about, heard from Mark more in depth about consistency, and then we heard from Trent about making that determination to be consistent. But now we got to understand that all of that, once again, plays again for trusting the process. All of that comes together. Everything leads back to the process. I know people, you don't like it sometimes. I know it's hard to hear, but listen, everything leads back to the process. So we're going to dive in a little bit more in this moment about that. And any questions you have, go ahead and ask right now. We actually have a question right now. How important is your program, and how do you decide what workouts to do? I think, Mark, that might be a question they might be asking if you want to answer, or anybody. You're on mute. There we go.
Well, of course, anyone who has been patient through a workout regimen can pretty much, answer this question as far as their observations and how it's worked for them. Again, your program, in my opinion, equates to the process. You cannot make any gains without a process. You cannot accomplish any goals, any worthy goals worthy of talking about, without a process, right? And you develop that process through your consistency. And so to answer the question, how you decide what workouts to do, I'm just going to be honest with you, man. It took me about 1.5 years to finally realize that, okay, you don't need to just go to the gym, do this workout, do that workout with the weights, and then hit the track run. No, you need to, first of all, ultimately decide what it is that you are trying to accomplish with your body and with your fitness. And whether it's via a physical trainer or via your observations and watching the various health and fitness and workout videos, you will be able to tailor or craft a workout regimen that will be most effective in helping you to achieve what it is you're trying to accomplish. There's really no uniform way for everybody, simply because everybody's body is different. We got a different genetic makeup, and we also have different goals. So the last thing I want to say with this is just be patient with this, because it may take some time before you're able to actually find out specifically what is most effective, what is actually working. Not what people are talking about, but what is actually working as far as getting you closer to your goal.
All right, we have a Trent. You want to add anything on that?
I personally, I am a work in progress, and how I determine what I need to do is exactly what he said earlier. I look in the mirror. I'm honest with myself, and I say, well, I need to work on these things, and I will find out what exercises I need to do to shape my body the way that I need to shape my body. I do a lot of walking and cardio because for me right now the most important thing is dropping the weight, and I'm working towards achieving my goal. I've got lost over 120 pounds so far, and I still have a ways to go. So I'm going to do that, but at the same time, I need to build muscle mass. So I'm looking at uh, programs to help me do that, and I will, for me personally, I will enlist the services of a physical trainer to ensure that I'm doing it the right way, that I'm doing the right technique, and to try to get the best form for the things that I need to focus on.
That's good. Now we have another question. So what are your long-term and short-term goals for your process?
Okay. Trent, you want to go ahead and tackle that one first?
Well, my long-term goal is not to be on any medication. I've taken myself down from 7 or 8 medications to 2 medications, and I don't want to be on any medications. Is my long-term goal. I also want to be what you call physically fit. I've never been physically fit in my life, and it is my goal to earn that badge of honor by putting in the work. My goal is to be consistent, also to persevere. I love that 720-day challenge you did, and my hashtag right now is no days off, because whether it's rain, snow, sleet, shine, I've walked in all of those, and I don't plan to take any days off to accomplish my goal. And my short-term goal is to ensure that every day I do something.
Excellent. Excellent. And I would just like to add that, well, for me personally, and again, it's very important to understand the fact that everybody has different fitness goals, but the common denominator is fitness and consistency and process. My short-term goal is body fat reduction. The long-term goal is keeping it off. And I want to be able, because I actually enjoy working out, and I want to put myself in a position to where if I am blessed, to live into like my 70s or what have you, I still want to be able to, do a physical workout. So therefore, I have to understand what my ligaments can and should withstand in joints at this juncture. Because, I have some old sports injuries, and I have this habit of just, sometimes just pushing myself when I get the momentum. But then I got to think about long term. I want to do this. If I'm blessed to be in my 70s, I want to do this same thing or to a fault if I'm blessed to be in my 70s.
That's good. And I think the next question, you might have tackled into that a little bit. What health and wellness concerns do you have for your age?
Okay. If I may tackle this one first, my family has a history of high blood pressure, diabetes, type 1 and type 2, multiple sclerosis, heart disease. And so I want to put myself in a position to where I am able to take the throttle and have more control over what my body decides to do from a physical standpoint going forward. And I want to be proactive and not reactive, because by the time we get into that reactionary state, we're depending more on science and the medical professionals. And the only thing, and you're going to be beating yourself up because you're going to be thinking, man, if I only did such and such and thus and forth.
Yep.
So my goal, and as Trent said, in a way, is to try to put myself in a position to where I can get and remain as healthy as possible and continue working out into my old age if I'm blessed to live that long.
That's good. Trent?
For me personally, I know my mom has had double knee replacement. I know I have some what I call bad knee. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing things to ensure that I will remain as healthy and surgery free in terms of those as possible, as long as possible. I want to make sure that I take care of my kidneys and my liver and all of my internal organs to make sure that they function properly. Muscles are nice. I don't have to have them. But I understand that the more lean muscle you have, the better it works at burning fat and ensuring the proper equilibrium chemically in your body. So I'm going to make sure that as you age, it's harder to develop and grow muscle. So I need to work long term on maintaining muscle mass and taking care of my body chemistry.
Trent, we're rooting for you and those muscles. I believe you're going to get them. I want to throw in a question real quick. In regards to the process, how do you trust the process when it's something you probably never done before? How can one trust a process? I want to throw that question in for you.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark, you start.
Trusting the process, just like anything else, like with a friendship, relationship, and marriage, that trust has to be earned. And so you have to, number one, you have to go through some challenges with your workout regimen, because that is the only way that you're going to actually have a bond in a relationship with your workout regimen. And if you can stick to it through the low valleys, through the low points, through those plateaus, that's when that bond deepens. But again, it's so much of that is in your control. You have to you have to play the biggest factor in your consistency. You're not going to get to a point to where you can trust the process unless you are consistent, because you build that relationship with your process as you are consistent with it.
That's good.
For me, it's small wins help you to build confidence in the process. When I started out walking, I had plantar fasciitis, I had heel spurs, and I was like, how do I walk through this stuff? And I just kept going. As Mark said in one of his sessions, he worked through the pain. So I kept thinking about that, and I said, well, you know what? It's painful now, but I'm gonna trust that this pain won't last forever. And I just kept walking. I got some better shoes. I went to the doctor, and lo and behold, the other day I walked 15 miles.
Oh, wow.
I said, I couldn't walk to the bathroom without using a walker at one point in time, and now I can walk 15 miles.
Man.
Those baby steps helped me to overcome and believe that the changes I was making are part of the process to get to where I want to be. Wow. And you develop that trust in the process by small wins.
Wow.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome right there. So we got time for two more questions. So let's talk about nutrition real quick. How do y'all feel about the plant-based diets? And then how important is nutrition in this process?
You want to go ahead, Trent?
Well, I for about 2 years I went vegan, and I really felt good being vegan. But one thing people don't always understand is you can gain weight on a vegan diet. You know, it's possible to eat the wrong things and be a vegetarian. I think that living clean and eating clean is the proper thing to do, but you also have to have the right balance of nutrients and proteins and carbs and all of those things that are just as important as eating a traditional diet when you're eating a vegetarian or vegan diet. I think there's a lot of good to be said about a vegetarian diet, but there's also a lot of good in maintaining a proper diet.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, and you know, Trent definitely has that experience with the vegan diet, so he can definitely speak straight from the experience. I happen to be a meatitarian, and I plan on continuing to be a meatitarian. I do eat some vegetarian dishes; some are quite delicious. However, I am a meatitarian, and I am pro protein, and so you know, I don't like the idea of having to do supplements outside my general fish oils and turmeric and the apple cider vinegar. So I don't like to do like protein shakes or anything or have that protein powder. I just like to get the protein naturally. And so of course I don't do a lot of red meat, but definitely chicken and fish. And however, I am a salad fanatic, and I try to make sure that I'm eating a full salad at least one time a day. And I still may have vegetables with another meal as well. So, but the key to it is, are you in a caloric deficit? That is the bottom line, right? If part of your fitness goals is to come off some weight and to lower your body fat, you definitely need to be in a position to where you're burning more calories than you are taking in. But bottom line is, and again, you know, sweating and that's water weight basically, but you got to be in a caloric deficit. And that's where, you know, intermittent fasting comes in. I know it's a whole different conversation, but you definitely got to make sure that, you know, you're burning more calories than you are taking in, which means that you're going to feel hungry a lot, but that is key.
Man, that's good. Listen, everybody, I want to thank you all, you two, for tonight. I was blessed by this. This was some great information. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it myself, just to hear everything that was shared, all the light that was shared. Once again, y'all, we talked about trusting the process. We learned about consistency and also making up your mind to change. I mean, you can't get it any better than that. So we're wrapping up tonight. Once again, every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m., you can catch us for the Men's Health Month. I am your Men's Health Month ambassador. We want to shout out our sponsors, Earth Strong CBD, Fitness Defied, and also Men's Health Magazine. Until next time, we will see y'all next Tuesday at 6:30.
All right. Peace.
Thank y'all, fellas.
Fitness Defied.